I'm just gonna be playing Clash Royale while I talk over this. We're not. I'm not gonna include it in the video though, but I'm gonna just be talking for about 10 minutes and explaining why Tangem isn't secure just based off logic. Um, so the Tangem card is basically, from what I've seen, advertised as a too good to be true. They don't advertise it like that, but the reason why I'm saying that, it's not because like they don't want to help. I'm saying the way that they want to help is just gonna. It's very similar to Ledger, where they prioritize convenience over security, and that's not something you can do in this space because whenever a company is talking about like dumb shit in crypto, talking about some no seed phrase, oh yeah, not your keys, not your crypto, nigga. I don't know what you thought this was. I guess you thought it was a free lunch. There is no free lunch. 48 laws of power despise the free lunch. So, like, you gotta lock in, my brother. You gotta lock in. Because, like, if you don't lock in on what's going on with these crypto technologies, when they try to pull something in front of your face, you're not even going to see it. Tangent could be backdoored right now. Nobody would know until they pull the liquidity out of people's wallets. And then what you would have happen is mass speculation on all the endorsers of that hardware wallet device. And that's any hardware wallet device where they're not giving you a seed phrase, whether it's bit 39 or not. Because if you, okay, like with Ledger, it gives you a 24-word safe seed phrase based around bit 39. And with Ledger technology, it will allow you to, also recover every other single asset in relation to that wallet. Like Ethereum or Solana, and I'm not gonna go name anything else beyond that because unfortunately people just think I'm like a fucking genie, and that is not how this shit works. And if you're like, no, people don't think you're a genie. No, they fucking do. They fucking do. People think that like people think a hit rate comes out of nowhere or some shit. It's ridiculous. So I'm still trying to calculate my hit rate, but I'm just ultimately seeing like, what's the word, bro? Hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta get rid of this. Basically, oh, okay, no. Like I was saying, with Tangent Wallet, it's kind of like, what's the word? With Tangent, it's kind of like this. If you're gonna be using a service like that and you have no fallback, and it's like your first hardware wallet, um, so I'm not even gonna go get the devices. But as we know, Ledger bricked their technology. Every single Ledger I own, like Ledger, not no first gen Ledger, and not the Nano S, but the Nano X, bro. They fucking bricked my shit. They bricked my shit. Like, how am I supposed to use this new tech that will, in the next update I have to force it to fucking update. And basically, the next update, I may or may not be able to get back into my seed phrase. It's gonna send off my seed phrase to somebody else. That's federal as fuck. Like, I'm not even talking about like tax evasion. I'm not. I'm dead ass. I am dead ass. I am so serious. I am not being ironic right now. I don't know how else to say that. Like, literally, anybody that is not the government that wants to know where the fuck your crypto is going, like, that shit's federal as fuck because it's like, okay, you want to be the blockchain police, Ledger. Nobody's playing your fucking games. You lost your client base. Everybody with the brain from 2021 has stopped using your product. All you have left is the masses. When the masses turn on you, somebody's gonna go to jail at the end of that shit. I'm sorry. Somebody's gonna go to jail between whatever company. And I'll say it like this. I'll say it like this. Essentially, because Ledger has took your seed phrase and divided it amongst three companies, if one of those companies loses your seed phrase or one of those companies gets leaked, basically it's 33%, 33%, 33%. In their mind, it's like, oh no, 33% risk. No, fuck that. It's 100% my risk because if one of these niggas leaks my fucking codes for some shit you're paying for, right? Like, assuming you're paying for Ledger Recover, fuck that shit. That shit's bull. It's kind of like doubloons. It's kind of like paying for a backup, 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 backup. You know how Batman got 69 fucking plans? It's kind of like that. The problem is you're dealing with fucking Lex Luthor. You know, you're buying LexCorp stock, basically, and you're acting like Lex Luthor is not just gonna shit on his stockholders and buy a fuck ton of kryptonite. Like, you know what they're gonna do eventually. It's only a matter of time before they pull the cold door. By the cold door, what am I talking about? Maybe that's a new phrase. By cold door, I mean cold wallet backdoor hack. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. Cold wallet backdoor hack. I don't even have to be a programmer to know that shit's possible. Because just based off blockchain logic, if you have your 12 word seed phrase spread amongst three companies with Ledger Recover, and again, it's on the fucking whim if they're gonna be like, you know what? We don't fuck with this person politically. And boom, your crypto's fucking gone. Boom, boom, it's gone. It's gone. So you have to deal with stuff like that, right? And it almost becomes a paradox, if you will, because now with Tangem, they felt so comfortable to the point where now they're advertising out here no seed phrase. No, somebody has the seed phrase, okay? No, somebody has the seed phrase. You're not gonna shit on me and say it's marshmallows. The fuck? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just being for real. That's what they're trying to pull. Don't look at me. Look at them. Don't look at me. I'm not the one embezzling billions of dollars. Think about this shit. Ledger is embezzling their entire client base because all they have to do is say, not your keys, not your crypto. Let's say it again. Not your keys, not your crypto. And that's the problem with cryptocurrency is this who's gonna hold the keys? It's just banking all over again. If Coinbase, let me just lay it all straight. The only threat to Bitcoin right now is not quantum computing and AI. It is the EMP that will threaten Bitcoin. And the reason I'm saying that is if you can trigger a nationwide blackout while the other half of the world tries to figure out the keys and they succeed, economies flip overnight. And that's the problem. When you have centralized, not Bitcoin, Bitcoin itself isn't centralized. I mean centralized ownership with the whales. You know, as soon as 30% of the entire supply is in Coinbase's hands, BlackRock's hands, Fidelity's hands, I would expect again maybe you know how the left translation idea didn't play out. I think maybe next cycle it'll be a left translation because we always got to consider that on the table. But a left translation, it took me so long to figure out that was because everybody started saying that in 2024. I thought it was a left translated cycle for basically the whole year until we got invalidated so hard to the point where I'm like, I could. Like, just rage at the computer. Just rage at the computer, bro. Just rage at the computer. Like, and there's nothing wrong with being wrong. No, I want to say don't rage at the computer, actually. Don't do that. But I will say, though, that it's quite difficult when it comes to what's the word? Oh, you can. You gotta be careful with calisthenics. I'm sorry. No, I just came from the gym and I was thinking about pull-ups and a lot of the clips I've seen from people going too hard with calisthenics. You gotta be real careful with that sometimes because the injuries, well, they're injuries, right? So basically, I'm sorry, I was really thinking hard about the gym there because you gotta at least admit how you can get injured in order to not get injured. So I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve because too many injuries at once is not it's not optimal. It's not optimal. But anyways, like I was saying, I guess this will be maybe a 15 to 20-minute video, but I'm serious because when it comes to internet security, like however you view it, in fact, I'm gonna pull up Ordinary Gamers right now because Ordinary Gamers he does have a lot of alpha on when it, sorry, he has a lot of alpha when it comes to I gotta like lock this there. There we go. He has a lot of alpha when it comes to what's the word? Yeah, they keep trying to get me. They keep trying to see McAfee, whatever they did to that software, they constantly get it to pop up to say renew. And I'm like, well, I'm never going to uninstall it, but I'm not going to update it either. I'm like, you're not slick, McAfee. Because I know ever since he left, the company switched up, and I'm like, I'm not renewing, but I'm not gonna uninstall this shit. You can't force me to uninstall some shit. You can lock me out the tech all you want, but you can't force me out of it. It's kind of like Adobe Premiere Pro. This prankster.
This man just admitted.
Oh, dang, bro. So this guy.
The TikTok prankster destroyed his life, as he's now back on social media after getting arrested for his content, called out on national television, and banned from posting online for 2 years.
To get your kicks out of doing that?
Not necessarily, but you can say that this whole public outroar just makes me laugh because people are getting hurt over something that didn't happen to them.
But except for planning a more degenerate.
I'm watching A to Z right now.
So many others like
A to Z, but
in the past did.
it's A to Z with a
Y.
Y.
Completely changing his life. He became a father of 2, went back to school for media, and got himself a construction job. And honestly, this needs to be celebrated. Someone learning their lesson and deciding.
Oh well, at least he had a child. Wow, bro. Yeah, that'll change a man's life around. I won't lie. If you take a child that you brought into this World Series and they come out of nowhere, yeah, you get it together. Either that or they go the opposite way. There's no in between.
Provide value to society. That is amazing. I still completely despise what he did for clout and attention back in the day. But at the end of the day, we want people to actually better themselves, change their lives, and leave.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna look up Ordinary Gamers though, because I need the alpha on the internet security. So we have to. I gotta keep up.
Peppermill has this freeze.
Why YouTube won't stop pushing AI nonsense. We have a serious hacking problem. Alright. Install ad blockers.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar. And ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you the internet ads are now able to hack your phone, maybe even your computer? No, I'm not actually joking. I wish this would actually be okay, but we live in a world where there are crazy hacks that are occurring right under our noses. Nobody's really talking about this, but if you haven't really been following, there is something that you probably heard known as the intellectual leaks. Now, what actually ended up getting leaked? Well, what ended up getting leaked was a malware, or rather a protocol known as Aladdin. A protocol that would be used against somebody's smartphone. And basically, by viewing an advertisement, not even engaging with it, without even clicking on it, your phone would actually end up being hacked. So, how did this work? So this little infographic, as you can see right over here, is all cutesy. This was a... Now, if you're looking at this cutesy little infographic, best in market collection capabilities. You can see an image of a smartphone, an iPhone.
We're getting alpha right now. It's about like
these guys
security.
Are advertising,
you know,
that they can grab
the dude.
from WhatsApp,
I guess he was a dumb viewer. I'm not gonna lie. How do you not take your own security serious, man, bro?
Signal and WhatsApp by that extent. Remember, if your phone is hacked, doesn't matter what your applications are because they can still siphon all the data out. Of course, they can also grab audio from calls and voice over IP applications. Gmail, Mail, Samsung Mail, nothing is immune. GPS location off of your device, capture images covertly using your device's sensors by the actual camera. So
fucking Aladdin just came out. Damn, this is cooked. So you can get hacked off viewing ads now, and then YouTube want to say you can't use ad block. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna leave it there.